let's just go over to how to set our card up for printing. So I'm going to start with the envelope. Just double check and make sure this is the right size, that it breaks down when folded, it's the correct size. If you notice here, I've got a separate layer underneath my pattern for color. And I actually made this pattern from the image trace. And then I'm going to save this file as a PDF because I'm actually not going to print from home because my color's not working on my printer. So I'm going to need to save it as a PDF. They may not have Adobe Illustrator where I go print. I'm going to send mine over to Office Depot via email. And so I'm just going to save that as a PDF. That's my envelope. I'm going to print the envelope on thinner paper than the card. I'm going to print that card on some cardstock, and I've got two different files set up here. I wanted two different looks for my card, and I also want to just double check this layout to make sure everything looks good. I found some fun typefaces, and I want to show you this as well. So just on Adobe Fonts, I searched for Halloween there on fonts.adobe.com, and since I'm signed in with my Adobe CC account, it's so easy just to click here, and I activated the whole set, so I had lots of choices. So now let me show you about glyphs really quickly. So I'm just going to select some of these typefaces here, Command T, and you can see got this kind of gothic scary one, and then I mixed it with this bergamot ornaments. Let's say I just want to see what's in that typeface. I'm just using the T tool to select, and then I'm going to type glyphs, and then I get to see the whole typeface here. Let's see, I'm just going to double click to get any of these up on my screen. And maybe I want to use that, and it's kind of fun instead of this one. And then there's all these special characters I may not be seeing on my keyboard to use. And so glyphs is a great way to find that if it has accents. Or here's some fun arrows. I could add, I could see if they have different options for the ampersand. Now I'm going to go to this typeface and select it and see how it comes up in my glyphs panel. And they have other options, and so I'm just going to double click and we'll see what it looks like for this one, this one. So see, I'm just double clicking and seeing if I like. This is the entire typeface here. So I also custom did this leading. So this leading is much larger, 30 points here, than the leading between this and is much smaller, just because I was spacing this out exactly like I wanted it. Now I could have done them on separate lines and pieced them together. This is just the easiest way for me, is I just went in there and custom did the leading. Now these fonts are not going to load on another person's computer. So I would have to either package this file up, especially if I was going to the printer with all the typefaces. So I would have to go to File, and package the entire document. But the other thing, first I have to save it before I do that. The other thing I can do is save it as a PDF, and this will hold all of my typefaces. So I'm going to go ahead and save it as a PDF in my Halloween print ready document there. And I'm going to print this front and back so it prints correctly. So let me go into my print menu. Like I said, mine's not printing color, so I'm going to go somewhere else. But even if I was, I want to make sure I'm not fitting to page. I want actual size. I want this to come printed the exact size that I designed it. And then I'm also going to check in, you can go in advance, check out all your menu items, make sure you're on the right printer. But there's also under printer, and you will need to ask for this if you go print somewhere else. I want it two-sided. I want to print front to back. I don't want to print black to white. There's also even a forced way to save as a PDF here if you're ever looking for that or need that. So I definitely want to do just two-sided, 100% actual size. I'm going to have them print this on, some inexpensive cardstock. and then I would just save those settings there. Mine would come up in my print menu if my color was working. All right, so let me just save this right here. So I'm in Illustrator, File, Save As. I'm going to save my finished files as AL files also. But remember, we're just going to email or save on our flash drive and give them that PDF. Now I can, now that I've saved that file, I can package it if I wanted to package all those typefaces, and I'll show you what that looks like. So now when I go to it saved it to my desktop here, and it gave me a report, and it's pulled the fonts that I'm using. But like I said, for printing, what we're doing, a PDF is going to be your best bet, a portable document. All right, so now the next video, I'm going to show you how to mock this up once we get it printed.